Welcome back, everybody. We're here with some folks from AEP once again on the monthly or bi-monthly podcast for the people behind the power, sponsored by Kentucky Power AEP. I'm Jeff Vanderbeck, host and publisher of several newspapers in the region. We've been reporting a lot of what's going on with Kentucky Power. We talked last week with Tanner Wolfren about the rate increases. I'm not a proponent. I understand it. I'm not a proponent, but he explained it very well. And as we ended our podcast the last time, the transparency that AEP has out there is just, I mean, it's better than most government agencies. It's sometimes when utilities go for a rate increase, they're not transparent about it. What Tanner was very transparent. Again, he's a recovering lawyer. I don't hold it against him, and I didn't like a damn word he said, but I understand it. And because of the fact that it is what it is, we have to accept that this is what it is. And in my opinion, based upon the information that I've been able to ascertain, not only through my research, but through the Public Service Commission and through the board and everything else, there are some warrants needed for some additional rate increases in some places. And I'm going to hold Wolfren's feet to the fire. He said when more people start coming into this area because of the economic growth and the development that is happening, and the pie is split up a little bit more, and some of these other bills get relieved, he said that we should be able to see some sort of rate decreases soon, and we will relish and rejoice in. I will dog them until I get that done, but again, the transparency was much appreciated. Today, I'm joined by Amanda Clark, who is their economic and business developer for Kentucky Power, AEP, or whoever we're going to call them today. Welcome, Amanda. And then I got Colby Kirk, who is the executive director of One East Kentucky. And I'll let them introduce themselves, who they are, what they do, and why they do what they're doing. And I'm really excited to talk to Colby about this because what One East Kentucky does is economic development, and the fact that he's here with Kentucky Power today is going to be an attribute of how Kentucky Power's investment in his region through places like One East Kentucky and even SOAR are helping to develop and increase business and so on. So Amanda, hello to you. How are you? Good to see you.
Thank you so much for having me today.
Well, like I say to most of my friends, thanks for being had. Colby, how are you today?
I'm doing well. Thanks for
All right. So tell me, One East Kentucky, what do you do?
Sure. So One East Kentucky, we are kind of the lead marketing arm for the 9-county region that we serve for industrial site development. We also help with strategic planning with communities in the region and capacity developing efforts. One East Kentucky, we've been around for about 10 years now, and our track record has helped recruit more than $50 million in new private investment to the region and a little more than 500 jobs.
And Amanda, tell me what you do at Kentucky Power AEP. I know that there's I kind of beat up on Tanner last week about, why don't we just do away with the economic development and, take that investment that the Kentucky Power makes and split it up so the ratepayers get, $15-$20 off their bill. He said, that's a great idea, but let me tell you why it's not good. And he told me, so tell me what you do there.
So as the economic and business development director, I'm the manager, not the director. As the economic and business development manager, primarily my responsibilities are working with people like Colby, working with the local governments, the local economic developers as well, to sort of facilitate this strategic plan for Eastern Kentucky. Kentucky Power has invested in sites, in workforce development, in organizations like One East Kentucky to kind of further the economic development mission of Eastern Kentucky. Before Kentucky Power's investment, One East Kentucky didn't exist. And so Eastern Kentucky is a little bit playing this sort of catch-up game, if you will, in terms of economic development. If you look at areas like the Golden Triangle, those areas have been involved in economic development activities for more than 40 years. That's not the case for Eastern Kentucky. So when Kentucky Power decided to sort of get in the economic development game, if you will, with the Kentucky Power Economic Growth Grant, and I'm sure we'll get into all the aspects of that throughout this. But when that happened, it allowed organizations like One East Kentucky to have money for marketing. It allows Colby to travel for direct marketing trips. It allows for the website, all of those sorts of things. So my job is a lot in terms of where I could be on any given day and what my responsibilities are. But the driving force behind it is to bring jobs and people to Eastern Kentucky.